All right, y'all look at the thumbnail. Y'all see the title, and we got people Omeezy, and this is she think 10K a month isn't enough for streamers, bro. Stop the cap, bro. I don't know what she. Okay, let's check this out, bro. This got to be cap. I think this person trolling. Let's check it out. Oopsie, let's move it.
Y'all know how expensive it is to keep up with content creation? You can get a 10K check from Twitch. What the f is a 10K check when you gotta spend 5K on trips just to travel, $500 on setup, $2,000 on your rent, $200 on Wi-Fi, $200 on IRL toolkit. You gotta pay the Clippers, pay your YouTube editor. Chat, I don't think y'all
pay the Clippers, boy. I'm not paying. I ain't buying what pay the Clippers. That's crazy. Wait, do people really pay like the Clippers?
realizing I be going into negative doing this. Okay.
Nah. You don't know how to. No. You don't know how to handle your financials. You need to work on your financial skills, baby. Ain't no way.
Going into the negative after making $10,000.
Yeah, she needed to learn how to control her financial, her money wise. She ain't doing it right. She really ain't doing it right.
In any check, I don't care. This is streamer Snowcone, who was a small gaming streamer before Streamer University. You know, the ones where everybody came to the campus hosted by Kai Cenat and ultimately became IRL streamers and sparked this whole revolution of streaming that we're seeing. Yeah, she took the opportunity that she got there, got the package, and capitalized. Now, unfortunately, though, she did a master class in what not to do when you're streaming.
I don't know what this is.
It's making the stallions feel tequila, so it's you get to test it out and take a picture in the book.
Oh yeah, when she said that, yeah, okay.
I don't know. It's really free Tory, so I don't know. I said.
See, yeah. Leave that outside of the dream come, bro. Like, come on, man. Just, you know what I'm saying? You got some people gonna rock with that for with her, and then you got some people gonna rock with that. You know what I'm saying? Well, me, I'm more like, hear what you're saying now, but just leave it out of the just leave that out of the DreamCon, man. No, don't bring that stuff in DreamCon, bro.
It's free Tory. It's for Megan Thee Stallion. We signed with my man's Tory.
That's what's costing you $10,000 to do? Like, that's what you're spending your $10,000 a month on. Let's really break this down for a second.
You can get a 10K check from Twitch. What the f is a 10K check when you gotta spend 5K on trips just to travel, $500 on setup, $2,000 on your rent, $200 on Wi-Fi, $200 on IRL toolkit.
See, the thing is, you choosing to do those type of things though, man. Like the trips and stuff, man. You don't got to do all that.
You gotta pay the Clippers, pay your YouTube editor.
But pay the Clippers are crazy, but I ain't no way. I'm not paying no Clippers. If they finna clip my stuff, I'm not, man. Well, ain't no way.
I don't think y'all realizing I be going into negative.
Now, I want to address the $2,000 rent and the $500 streaming setup. Look, you live where you live, and I'm not saying rent isn't outrageous. You know, we need to find cost efficient and, you know, rent control areas, and rent control needs to be just a nationwide thing at this point. But that is a living expense. That's not just one about being a streamer. You were going to have to pay that, or maybe pay one less, even if you just had a regular job. So you don't get that one. And $500 stream setup, why do you need to do that every single month? And I think that there's a reason why, which brings us back to the $5,000 travel. It's funny because she used to be a desktop gaming streamer, but now because she has stepped into the IRL niche, she is now spending this amount of money each month on pulling some sort of stream off. And these things can become expensive. You need a plane ticket for yourself, a plane ticket for your camera person, you need the hotels, you need the food, you need the gas, you need the rental cars. All this stuff can and will.
The rental cars as well, God. Oh, bro, yo, man, I'm good being I don't even want to be no IRL. I'll just be a straight reactor live, thank you. And just playing games.
Add up. But it begs the question, do you need to be doing this to become successful?
I know you don't. You really don't need to. But if you want to dip into that niche, go ahead. Feel free.
Know that streaming IRL is the new meta, and so especially because she got the stimulus package and she's a part of a specific community, she's been able to go to all these different events, whether it be going to DreamCon, Streamer University, Streamer Prom, you know, visiting Funny Mike, or whatever the case may be. These are all things that have boosted her streams. But if the risk isn't worth the reward to the point where you're going negative every single month,
I'm telling you,
I don't know if it's worth it. Actually, I know for a fact it's not worth it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's not even worth it, bro.
I've talked about this multiple times in the streaming conversation. This one-up culture is ultimately going to hurt a lot of the streamers. Sure, it can pay off in some extent, but continuously having to one-up yourself month in and month out while simultaneously not seeing all the rewards and successes can ultimately be a dumbass financial decision for a lot of these content creators. That's why she's spending $500 a month on the streamer setup, is because every single month she's trying to find ways to one-up and do a different meta and change something, do something new here, because she thinks that that is what will get her to be a more successful streamer. But I'm sorry, not when a time when eggs are $6, I know, old joke, and gas is through the roof, people are getting laid off left, right, and sideways, do you get to complain about doing content creation as a job and even seeing a $10,000 check? That's double the average and then some of people's monthly income, and you're complaining because you blow through it every month? Shut up. There's been a recent trend of streamers being more open, honest, and upfront about their situation. I think a lot of consumers are more understanding of how much money is in streaming, and it has a lot of people curious about the money that is in streaming. So when they open their mouths to then describe, you know, how much money they're making, you would think that it would be from a good, genuine place that is then accepted by the youth, and then they go on to make decisions about their streaming or their content creation careers. But oftentimes it comes out as just the most ungrateful conversation in the world.
Being completely honest and upfront with you guys.
Bro, this dude right here, he's a troll, bro. This dude be trolling, bro. That's why, like, I don't. You can tell he got a lot of young people, bro. He be trolling though, but like I said, I get it. He be trolling though, so bro, you just gotta know. You gotta know, bro. This dude be trolling.
Guys, the money is not good enough. It was not good enough. It's simple as that. I streamed for 9 hours yesterday and I made $1,500 off of it, or $1,700. So if I'm being completely upfront and honest, it's just the money's not worth having to, you know, co-stream on 2 platforms.
Now, I did some quick math, and you've got to be like a surgeon or a top-level physician or an anesthesiologist or a damn CEO in order to make $166 an hour. That's exactly what Lacey was complaining about, saying that it wasn't enough money. Again, to the average person, doesn't make a fraction of that. $1,500 is a paycheck, like a full paycheck for people, let alone something that you make in one day's worth of work. I think that it's just messed up because they're talking to an audience in which, you know, they're then in turn needing their financial contributions, donations, you know, subscriptions or whatever in order to support them, while then seemingly simultaneously shitting on them or shitting on the amount of money that they are making in that time frame. These are the cost of living a top 1% life. And I don't think that people understand that streamers like Snowcone, even at the small threshold that she's at, where she streams to 700 viewers live, is living a top 1% life. The only reason why she has the overhead that she has is because she decided to be that way. But truly and honestly, if you stay true to yourself, and what a lot of other content creators and streamers have been talking about for the past couple months, is that you don't need to go down this path of
Exactly. You don't need to do that type of stuff, bro. It's not like a dip in every so once in a while, every blue moon, and then dip out. You don't got to do all that. Go back to playing your little game. Then dip into the RL every once blue moon, and you're done. That's it, bro. Gotta know how the game work, bro.
Facing everybody, because it may ultimately not end up being beneficial in the long run. If it's so bad, stop doing this stuff, and especially stop disrespecting those that are sitting there contributing to your day-to-day life, your livelihood, your funds, your streams, your whatever. They don't want to hear that shit. I don't know when this trend of, you know, shitting on the everyday person from the content creators became so popular, but I did see one phase video not too long ago where they did the same old tired 9-to-5 worker isn't hard trope again. At some point, enough is enough.
What do you think's harder, 24-hour open surgery or 24-hour stream?
24-hour open surgery.
Oh, brother.
Oh, they really doing that. That's crazy.
Saving thousands, you're saving what?
So I'm Angelina, and I work as an executive assistant.
You're right. You're right.
Fortunately, I have a beautiful girlfriend that does all of that stuff for me when I get home.
There's literally doctors who do one surgery and make hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Because they were trained for decades and they had to go to school. You went to school to be a content creator?
Streamer University.
Bro, they trolling. They doing they clips. It's the clips, bro. I can't hold you. It's funny though, but God, no. That was a W clap back though.
For a decade, then they had to go
Streaming University. That was a clap back. Hey, that was a W clap back.
to school. You went to school to be a content creator?
Streamer University.
Hey, that's a clap. Hey, W clap back.
I physically can't walk
W reply.
around bags of like makeup. You physically could never trick shot.
What?
Around bags of like makeup. You physically could never trick shot. You know about dry streaks. You don't know about hit markers.
But when you're done, you're
You know
done.
about the Elgato wasn't on.
I'm not your target audience, so break it down for me because I don't even get it.
You just said I'm not your target audience because I'm black.
No, these boys, they trolling. They trolling, bro. Oh man, what they did? They trolling.
I'm black.
Not fun at all, because this dude was talking for 20 minutes about playing video games.
Whoa. It sounds like you're jealous. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah, this crazy.
Do you know the expression, give a man enough rope?
You're losing me. Give a man a roll.
What is
Wait,
it means
is that racist?
Nah, I'm not gonna lie, that was kind
That's crazy, man. Nah, they were trolling though. That's funny.
of out of pocket. All of it, to be honest with you, is just rage bait. Like, it's to the point
Yeah,
where
clickbait, rage bait, all that. That's crazy. That's funny though.
this is some sort of content that
Nigga
I don't think will
crazy.
ultimately last.
Bro
And
said streaming university, bro. Yeah, of course.
I'm specifically talking about the rage baiting portion of it. Now, Snowcone did take to the internet to try to clean it up, but I don't know. This isn't the best apology either. It never is the best cleanup. You just got to leave some of this stuff alone. She says, I never once complained about getting a 10K check. Let's start with the fact that the entire video was taken out of context. My chat was spamming things like, you're rich, you should be able to buy clothes, why aren't you paying mods, etc. In response, all I did was explain, not complain, how a 10K
I mean, I be seeing that what people saying paying mods. I mean, they don't really necessarily gotta pay mods, bro. I don't know.
check could be quickly eaten up by expenses, especially for streamers coming out of Streamer University who had a lot of trips and events planned afterwards. To clarify, I did not receive a 10K check, but the expenses I mentioned were very real and accurate. Here's the breakdown. $4,000 for 3 trips, me and my cameraman's expenses. Ain't the cameraman her boyfriend? Dang. That's messed up. I took right after Streamer University.
Oh, the cameraman, her boyfriend. Okay. I mean, what she need? Okay, whatever.
Trips I don't regret at all. They helped me meet other amazing creators and create a ton of content. $400 to buy an IRL streaming setup, my first one ever. $2,000 on basic living expenses, $200 on Wi-Fi, and $150 for an IRL toolkit. And that's just what I can recall off the top of my head, not even including tax. Sure, I could have stayed home and avoided traveling, but I wouldn't have made the connections I did or gained the opportunities that came from these experiences. That context matters.
Chat, I don't think y'all realizing I be going in the negative doing this shit.
Snowcone, people go into the negative just living regular, average, day-to-day lives, right? They ride around without insurance all the time, no health care, no stable roof over their head, and deciding which meal they want to just eat and not really want to eat, but can't afford to eat. Maybe I'm skipping breakfast today, maybe I'm skipping dinner tomorrow. But ultimately, what you're saying is mighty offensive to
What crazy is, bro, I be skipping breakfast. I do.
people. Content creators gotta realize that the baiting of money and any money conversations that don't come in a positive light is not gonna make for good content. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This ungrateful streamer era is actually pretty weird, and especially because it's coming from content creators who are doing things that probably aren't gonna be beneficial for them in the long run. Now, not saying this or speaking this or wishing this on her, but this is just a general sentiment. I wonder if this type of content creation bubble will burst, because everybody can't be the IRL streamer. Everybody can't spend this extreme amount of money to live up this specific lifestyle. Everybody isn't going to be a Casanat. People are going broke that have never been broke before. And it's almost amazing to think that they can justify this because
they choosing that path. They choosing that lane and go to. But, you know, like I said, good luck with that.
At the end of the day, they did one stream with DDG. And granted, I do think collaboration streams can be helpful, but that one stream that you did with DDG, people came to see DDG. They did not come to see you. And that's the reality of the situation. But instead of spending $4,000 on travel, $900 on X, Y, and Z. Why not focus on, you know, building your own community and making sure that you can have something that is sustainable and maintainable? That's one thing that I decided when I was going to do YouTube. Hey, I don't have too much time because I work a full-time job, and I don't want to spend so much capital that I would be going in the negative every single month in order to make banger content. At some point, it can be worth it once you reach the Mr. Beast, Kai Cenat, DDG, Agent 00 levels, where then you get brands to sponsor whole events, and you know, you're not really losing a dime there. You know, your whole production budget is made, but there's a certain point where you're going into the negative and then hopping on stream to the audience that consumed your content, and now you're being ungrateful as ever, talking to the people who just sent you potentially their last $5 or $15 to get you to a certain sub goal because you claimed that you were grateful just 2 seconds ago. I don't know, it's just really tone deaf during this specific time in American history, but I could be off, man. Let me know what y'all think. I don't like any of this money conversation or this type of specific money conversation from streamers. It was real for a second, and then it got very ungrateful very fast.
Yeah, man. There you go, man. People need to be thankful and grateful, bro. But you already know.